mainly people are not really thinking about the Rumble right now. We're still reeling, some of us, and I want to get y'all's take on this. We could talk about the other matches, but let's not bury the lead here, gentlemen. And that is how it went down with Cena. And I want to get Desmond's take first, and then we'll move on to the champ because, Booch, I know you got a lot to say about this. Desmond, what say you, sir?
The way that Gunther beat Cena did as much good for Gunther as the way that Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker at WrestleMania, i.e., it didn't do shit. He was already a top heel. He was already being treated as a top heel. Beating Cena in that way that he beat him, making him tap out, did nothing to benefit Gunther. If anything, there were people who were fans of Gunther who see this as a disrespect on the man as part of the industry. And it actually did worse things for him. Now, I would have been okay if Cena had passed out. I wouldn't have been happy about it, but if he'd have passed out, he still would have not given up. He could have submitted without tap. And I would have been able to live with it. But but Cena actually tapping out was a travesty on the character he spent 23 years building. That being said, Cena also didn't do Gunther any favors because he didn't tap out of pain. That smile on his face completely no-sold that move. There was nothing good about that finish. Period.
Go ahead, Booch.
Yeah. He's right. Completely right. That the finish benefited nobody. The crowd was dead after it was done. Like, no one cheered, no one booed, they were quiet. They had the same looks on their some people had almost the same looks on their face when the streak was over. And literally the second Triple H came out, when they were bringing the people out to, celebrate, he got booed out of the building.
Yeah, they didn't boo Gunther. They didn't boo Gunther. They booed Triple H. That is how pathetic it was.
Yes, they booed Triple H. Like, they were booing the shit out of him. And then, of course, the crowd is chanting, "You fucked up," to Triple H. But Cena, of course, is trying to take the heat off by looking at the crowd going, I'm sorry. When in reality, it's like, no, dude, no one's booing you. We'll give the fans credit for this. There was a moment after they were done expressing their disdain for Triple H, they temporarily put it to the side to give Cena the farewell, to thank him and cheer for him and say goodbye. It's like, look, we're not happy about this finish, but we're not going to let that change the fact this man gave us 23 years. Let's say goodbye to him. Like, let's show him his proper respect. He lays his wristbands, his armband, his shoes. Some people thought the jorts were going to come off.
I heard that too.
I stand by it. He should have worn gym shorts under those jorts just to be able to leave the jorts in the.
Totally.
He left the jorts and then walked out, gave the salute, and left. And the fans were happy throughout. And then it's like, okay, now that we said our goodbye to Cena, we'd like to take a moment to remind everybody, fuck you, Triple H. Like, we went right back to it got to the point where fans were chanting, "We want Vince." Fans were chanting, "This is bullshit." Fans were chanting like anything else. Like Triple H tried to defend this using Vince McMahon lingo that nobody buys. Like, this is like, this is what's best for business. John's always going to do what's best for business. Some people tried to use time-honored tradition. I want to kick those people in the fucking nuts because you don't know what the time-honored tradition is. It's more than just going out on your back. It's going out on your back in a way that still sends the fans home happy, first of all. Second of all, again, here's another misconception. This is not a passing of the torch. I said this last time. The torch was already passed to Cody.
Yeah, you can't pass the torch from a face to a heel.
Yes, thank you. I was literally about to say that. I was literally about to say that. Thank you, Desmond. Yeah, you can't, the heel does not get the torch. Now, you could be a babyface with the torch and turn heel later. That's doable. But in the moment of receiving this torch, you must be a babyface at that current point in time.
Now, I will say, a good heel could pass the torch to another heel beautifully. You could have someone like Ric Flair and have someone he was teaching, like Randy Orton, for example, and then Randy turns on him and they have this massive heel versus heel match, student versus teacher, and then that passing of the torch with a dirty finish. Beautiful. That could be done.
Yes, but Randy would have to turn heel against someone else. He can't, he'd have to turn heel and then wrestle Flair. You can't turn heel on Flair, and you make Flair the
Oh, you can still be you could be turned on and still have the fans be booing you. It is still a thing. It is you in Flair and there are other great heels that could make it work.
All right, I would be intrigued to see if they could, but that's not easy. But it might be doable for Flair. But yeah, so I'm saying, like, so there was that. The rub wasn't needed, and again, there was no time honored tradition because there's no honor in this. Like, literally, no one's happy at the end of this. Like, there's nothing. You literally sent the crowd home pissed off, angry, and wanting your head, which is never how you're supposed to end a pay-per-view.
And there are a lot of fans completely giving up on WWE after this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Their last time is now.
yeah. With Cena, they were already on the edge, and Cena being done this way was all it took to say, you know what? That's it. The final straw. I'm out of here.
So where do they go from here? I mean, what would you do if you were Triple H to help rectify this?
It's not a matter. There's not a one thing he can do. At this point, he's done fucked up. Acknowledging it might help a little bit, saying, okay, look, this wasn't the move. This didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I made a mistake. He's not going to do that. But realistically, what it needs to be is he needs to think more long term about stories that make sense, who actually needs the rub, and building characters and spend time proving that he has the best interest at heart. And he's not. And as much as I've been a Triple H defender for a long fucking time, but this right here, I cannot defend.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, Triple H, this is the worst booking decision he's made. Because it's the one the fans have not forgiven him for. And right now, he is on bad terms with the fans. Like, right now, Triple H has no confidence from the WWE Universe. People are walking into Raw not knowing what to expect. And of course, Gunther comes out. He gets his boos.
I'll say this. I also saw something that said that Gunther has gotten real life heat backstage for that finish.
Yeah.
And
Some of the talent backstage is not happy with how it went down.
it's like I said, and it's not about Cena losing. Cena could have lost that match and we would have been okay. It's the way he lost.
Yep.
It's how he lost, who he lost to, and the fact that there's no way to rectify it. Like, it's not like, usually something like this, there's no way for Cena to get his revenge because he's out.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's why a lot of these booking decisions, and I've said them before, if they had given Cena the full calendar year and some of this shit happened in the middle of the year,
Yeah.
you could have pulled things off. But when you're at the tail end, it's like, okay, you did this thing with Gunther where you fucked him. Usually in this situation, Cena could get revenge or come back, a babyface move. Nothing. He's out the door. Dominic, you had the whole Judgment Day jump in. Normally, Cena could get revenge on that. Can't. He's out the door. He got beaten, victimized, and conquered by Brock for the upteenth time. No revenge on that. He gone. Like, you literally fucked so many things up, and people forgave. Like, okay, we were pissed about Brock. We're going to let that go. The Dominic thing, some people liked it, some people didn't. They let it go. I personally felt like Logan Paul should have went over in Perth, but I let that go. I felt like this should have happened here and there. There's a lot of shit we as fans let the fuck go. Because we're like, okay, we're going to the end because everybody keeps saying, let it play out. It'll work out. We let it play out. Look what the fuck happened.
Yeah, this is one of those, There's a lot of things that we can say let play out, but you can't let something play out when this was the defining end. Period.
Mm.
There is no comeback for Cena. This was the end. And that's and there's nothing else you can say about that. And like I said, I don't even mind that Gunther. I mean, I'm not happy that Gunther was his final opponent, but even if it was Gunther that beat him, I wouldn't have been as mad. Once again, it's the way it happened.
Yeah.
I can deal with so much.
Personally, like, I loved the match itself. Like, it had everything.
Oh yeah, the match was great. A whole lot better than I expected it to be. A whole lot better than I expected it to be.
I loved the follow-up, how he's like I texted you guys, like, he is the grinning heel. Like, he's laughing all the way. He's not hurt. He's not yelling at the crowd. He's laughing. And I love that. I love how arrogant that
Oh yeah,
move is. And so,
nobody here is doubting that Gunther is a great heel. I
sure.
mean, you can sit there and yell at the crowd all day long. Crowd doesn't care. But you want to really piss them off, you smile at them. You make them feel like shit about it.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah,
what he's doing.
good stuff.
Gunther is a phenomenal heel. This is not a knock on Gunther. Gunther did not book this. Gunther's just trying to benefit from it, and he's not going to benefit from it because all he's going to do, they're going to look at him like he was the problem, even though realistically he wasn't.
Yeah. I think his shoulders are big enough to shoulder it, though. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, and it's like, and here's the thing, and it goes back to something that Desmond said earlier that I said a long time ago. We talked about the streak ending, but you mentioned about shoulders. That was why at the time, and again, I'm saying at the time, when Brock ended the streak, everybody talked about like, well, somebody else could have ended the streak. This person could end the streak, and in a storyline world, it might be. But I felt like Brock could shoulder the burden, but not the burden from, again, the burden from the fans, because so many fans didn't want the streak to end at all. And that's a debate we can have all day long. I don't want to jump into it, but I'm just saying, so many fans were hell bent on Undertaker never losing at WrestleMania that I felt, and maybe I'll be wrong, but I felt at the time they would be pissed off no matter who ended it. I don't like, even if Taker said, I want this guy, that guy might still end, and the fans might go, fuck this person. So who could shoulder the burden and say, fuck you two to the fans? I felt Brock Lesnar. Because, yes, I believe Bray Wyatt. Desmond and I talked about this all day long, every day, and I don't disagree with him on it. Bray Wyatt would have been perfect to end the streak, but the question is, would the fans have accepted it? I don't know.
Mm.
I think so. I think a lot of them would have, and a lot more of them would have than when Brock did it.
Okay.
I don't know. Obviously, there would be fans that refused to accept it and said that Bray didn't deserve it or blah, blah, blah. There are plenty of people who would be naysayers. But I think that more people would have accepted it with Bray than accepted it with Brock.
Okay. And that I can see the point on. But I'm saying, like, that's why I feel like Gunther can definitely shoulder it. And here's the thing. He's going to use it to his advantage because, again, Gunther was told by management, hey, you're going to be John Cena's last match. You're going to tap him out. You can't fault the guy for doing his job and wanting that opportunity. No wrestler will turn that down. So that's why Gunther's not getting the anger. It's just that the problem is Triple H is hiding in gorilla position, and Gunther's the one out on TV. So since we can't really cuss out Triple H, we're going to cuss out you because you're in front of us.
Yeah.
Gunther can still use that to his advantage. But people got to remember, Gunther has to remember, as much as he loves the booze, no matter how evil it gets, he has to remember, the IWC, they don't hate you. They hate Triple H. If Triple H out there, he would be getting the booze you're getting.
Here's the real question here. In the long game, business-wise, it's about putting asses in seats. Gunther's not going to be putting asses in seats. People don't want to see Gunther right now.
No.
So this did not benefit the company.
Oh.
Who would you, okay, if you could play the role of Paul Levesque right now and say, go rewind, who do you book instead of Gunther to do the same thing?
Define do the same thing. Because if you're talking about tapping him out, nobody.
Okay, but if you had to play it out the same exact way.
Like John Cena loses, you saying Cena loses no matter what?
Yeah, like the same exact way, but just with somebody different. Is there somebody else that you could conceivably put in that role that could be an ambassador? Like you said, you can't pass it on from somebody like Cena to somebody like Gunther, like he's a heel. It doesn't make sense. Can you do that with somebody else, and who do you do it?
LA Knight needed the rub. LA Knight needed the rub. And LA Knight And LA Knight could have done it in a respectful way that the fans would have gotten behind. LA Knight's already selling the merch. He would have sold more merch if they would have let him beat Cena and then pushed that to the moon and pushed him to a championship. Used that as the catapult, the rocket ship, as they say. And that would have been perfect. They could have been like, I beat Cena in his final match. And yeah, I hit him in that BFT 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And the fans would have got behind him. Fans are already behind him, but because of how he's been booked, it's hard to expect much out of it.
And then real quick to that point, I could see it the next night on Raw. You have him come out, hat in hand, hey, I just want to honor Cena. And then Gunther comes out and it's like, no, I should have been there. I want that. And then it just solidifies the face role of LA Knight. And then, yeah.
Immediate top heel versus top face.
Boom.
Beautiful storytelling.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Because then Gunther, because what you do is you have LA Knight with Gunther, you have him squeak by.
Yep.
Like either a roll up or something, or he hits the BFT, but it's like it's like a sleeper hold, but he fights out, hits the BFT somehow, gets a 1, 2, 3, something happens, and then Gunther can be like, you stole that opportunity from me. Now you build to that.
Yep.
And then that can be something that Gunther feuds with till Saturday night's main event. You put LA Knight in the Rumble. He wins the Rumble, goes to Vegas, and either Cody or Punk, he walks out with the title.
Yeah.
Or legitimately, you don't even have a long build with that. You have him come out and say that on Raw, and then building up to the Rumble, you have LA Knight and Gunther fighting for the #1 contendership.
Do you want to come out and officially say I'm going in the Royal Rumble like that night?
Or they could wrestle for the title at the Rumble. I mean, you could have done this in so many different ways.
So you're saying you would get LA Knight the title at the Rumble and have him
Oh yeah. And then be one of the few people to beat the Rumble winner? Yeah, I would love to see that.
Okay.